Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Inside Politics. Let's sample your feedback on your call segment. And first of all, we want to listen in to our first caller, Fred Langat, who is calling in from Naivasha. Good afternoon, Fred. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, Roger.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. What's your take? What's your highlight of 2021 as you react to what we've talked about?
Okay, 2021 politics, second step. If you look at what has happened this year, is that we are now seeing alignment, we are seeing alliances, and up to now, it is known who is the host and who is a dungeon. And talking about the Raila Odinga convention that was done on 10th of this month, for me, I can say it was a great. You saw the leaders who were present there. We had almost 30 governors who were there. And I want to congratulate Honorable Raila Odinga for what he did. You look at the 10-point agenda he gave us. And this guy is going to be elected to be the next president. I am sure he can implement what he says. The next reason, Roger, is about a leader with ideas and another leader without ideas. If you look at the idea bottom up, nobody understands very well about this bottom up. The issue of bottom up can easily bring some confusion when somebody can tell them, because this remains. Because what is the meaning of the bottom up? Let us start from there. Because bottom up, according to me, I can think it is resources taken from the ground up to the national government.
Okay.
Why are not saying trickling down? Why don't they allow the money to come from Nairobi to counties? Why was they reducing DBI? And DBI was one of the good things ever about bottom-up economy. Because DBI was increasing the allocation in counties from 15% to 35%. So I want to ask Kenyans to sort out leaders or politicians with mediocrity and hypocrisy in the next election.
Okay.
And finally, the issue of BAP party.
Briefly, sir. Yeah.
Okay, I'm winding up. So if you look at the BAP party, it was brought in so that it can counter ANC and Hussein in Western. And I'm seeing it will succeed in conquering Western Kenya. And you know, Raila Odinga is doing his politics in a very clever manner, because he does not send people to fold their party so that they say no. You can join Raila Odinga whether you have a party or whether you don't have a party. So, Bwana Roger, I want to wish you well. I want to wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2022. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, Fred Langat, calling in from Naivasha. We definitely appreciate your feedback right here on the show. Let's cross over to our next caller, calling in from Kisii County. Francis Moranga is on the line for us. Good afternoon, Moranga. How are you?
Thanks, sir. And I'm happy to join you today because at least today you have really tried to bring a very good topic. Azimio la Umoja is the way to go. And in fact, I congratulate Raila for doing that. Reason is that I was a councillor one time here in Kisii, and the President Moi used to go around all the provinces trying to establish their problem and their needs and how to solve it. In fact, that is exactly the way Raila has taken it. The way Tennessee Tumbi has tried to put that Azimio la Umoja in Nairobi, it was Raila affair. In fact, Tennessee Tumbi respects Raila. Raila has done a lot for the country, and in a simple language, that is the person to respect.
Okay.
In fact, with UDA and as a nation, you just see them running around the country, running without telling them what is the meaning of that word Hasira and how it will assist them. It's the only thing is that it is bottom up for what? you must know that each province has its own problem.
Okay.
And the way to address it is through the Azimio la Umoja. Then it is Tumbi. How can you advise the Western people, even though you stand from the mountain, that this is how Western politicians are supposed to address their problems? They know how to do their politics. Whether it is in a good way or in a bad way, that is their style. How can you advise mature people even beyond your age?
All right.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I really sympathize.
Okay, we'll definitely pose that question over to Dennis. But thank you so much for your contribution. Francis Moranga right there calling from Kisii. And perhaps let's have our final caller, still from Kisii County. Julia Samachi joins us on the line. Amache, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you, Rajas and your team?
We're very fine, thank you. Go on. Well, what's your take?
I want to say about two things here.
Yeah.
Number one, 221 review. It is so ironical that William Ruto is attacking the CSS because they are engaging themselves in politics. But he has forgotten that he has been engaging himself in politics from 2017 to date. And the president has been reprimanding him to avoid the politics and pursue the four agenda put in place by the Jubilee government. But he failed to hear that. In addition to that, I'm shocked how will William Ruto, who is convincing the hustler that he will improve his life, but we know, we have evidence that he does not go to work. So by him not going to work, is that a way of improving the hustlers? That is a question I want to be answered in 2022. Number two, Raila Odinga has assembled a team which is greater than that team we formed in 2007.
All right.
I want to tell you the truth that today, every region, every corner, Raila Odinga has a formidable force. Men of integrity, including Central Kenya, where he has never gotten a single vote. Finally, apart from now assembling a team, he has the deep state. And who is this man, sober, who is alive today telling us that Raila Odinga will not win presidency? That is a question which will be answered in 2022.
Okay.
August. Finally, I want to advise your fellow panelists.
Yes.
Inside politics is not a panel of politicking or a panel whereby you will come to sell somebody's ideologies. I'm saddened to hear that Dennis Itumbi, after 2 minutes, is mentioning William Ruto. Honestly, that is misleading. That is politics of motivation. That is politics of tokenism. Thank you.
Okay.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Okay, many thanks, Julia Samachi, right there, calling from Kisii County. We definitely appreciate your input right here, even as he was reacting to some of the talking points we had right here. So, Dennis Thumbi, let me start with you. Your final take and perhaps reply to some of the issues that were brought up by our callers briefly.
Thank you very much. I think Mr. Moranga alluded to something out of the fact that he doesn't know. I need to tell him that Dr. William Samoei Ruto is the only politician with an economic idea, the only one who has chaired and established the regional economic caucuses that discuss specifics within the region. And those ones, they will receive validation next year. There is no consolidated approach that the bottom-up economic model will take. These are thoughts, aspirations, and economic ideas generated by people. And I think, sincerely, Mr. Moranga, I don't know whether you have Facebook or how many other channels you reach to. You will realize that His Excellency, the Deputy President, has been going through every region, sitting with experts and various wananchis, and coming up with a blueprint for that specific region. So bottom-up economic model is different from trickle-down. It is not discussed by provincial chiefs or in boardrooms where there is a good tea whatsoever. It's a thing that has come from the bottom. And I think the gentleman also from, I don't know whether the last one called was from
Samachi.
Samachi was from Kisii. It sounded like Mukua's cousin. But the truth is, no, I'm just saying it's just soft banter.
Okay, as we finalize.
But the truth is, we have to be very careful about the leadership and the platform and the history of whoever who is Azimio. It doesn't represent us nationally. It's a divisive tool at the end of the day to insult the deputy president and the hustler nation. It upsets Article 1 of the Constitution, Article 10.2 also. It upsets very many tenets of the Constitution. Okay. And when we are talking about history, we cannot be selective when we are talking history. We must discuss the day that I had to hide under the bed for 11 hours when there was a coup in this nation.
All right.
At the end of the day. So deliberately we are cherry picking, you know, this here and that here and that here at the end of the day.
Okay.
But the only central, and a gentleman said after every 2 minutes, I'm talking about William Samoei Ruto. But little did you know that my business shut down. You didn't know that I was on oxygen. You didn't know that I lost my livelihood, that my 500 plus workers are not functioning. So the bottom-up economic model, you may be rich, I don't know. But for me, who is at the bottom, I need something that can lift me up. And that is a bottom-up economic model.
All right.
So hence, this is personal. Okay. And it's something that is important to me.
Okay, well noted. Thanks for your take right there. Definitely noted. Wakili Echesa, your final take?
Unlike my brother Dennis, who is quarreling our viewers, I'll choose to take a completely different approach and first correct the misnomers that Dennis has advanced. Coalitions are not built in stadium. Coalitions are not to be built at Kasarani or in rallies. Coalitions are crafted within boardrooms. The Azimio la Umoja that was in Kasarani was not the crafting of a coalition. It was a national call for unity, prosperity, and economic emancipation of our country. And we want to thank those who attended and those who share in this view. The greatest danger to our democracy is the narrative being advanced by the hustler nation, which is based on classes. And this show is a show of record. I must tell our viewers that one Raila Odinga has never been tried, has never been convicted for the treason, for the attempted coup by people who did it in 1982. In any event, Raila Odinga's history is a history of democracy, is a history of reform, is a history of economic emancipation. Hate Raila the man, but love the ideology and the power in Raila Amolo Odinga. And going forward as panelists, we need to discuss things that will bring this country together, things that will unify us. We do not need to give alarming statements that will further divide an already divided political ground in this country. Thank you.
Well noted. Bichachi, your take.
There is a takeaway I want to give my nation. The takeaway is this, that as a communication strategist, I'll tell you, the politician wants you angry. The politician wants you not to see what is happening in your country. We're going into the holiday season, and it's a season to reflect upon what is good in your country. And therefore, let me tell my fellow citizens some good things. Kenya has the best roads in Eastern and Central Africa. Kenya's power grid is expanding. Kenya's economic outlook, if you ask the IMF and other people, is growing. Kenya is a country that has not forgotten its poor. Today, we have schools, primary schools, that we try to keep as free as possible. We've got secondary schools that we are trying to make sure there's 100% transition. Kenya is a country, when people wanted to form a club and casino at Jamhuri Gardens, Uhuru Gardens, we took it back and created a museum. Kenya is a country that has a lot to look up to.
Okay.
Yes, we have issues.
Yeah.
We have issues with inflation. I agree with Dismas. We have issues with the IPP. But what we should not have issues with is each other.
All right.
Yes, it is fine that Dennis will say, I am broke, and perhaps I am, and I invite the Wheelbarrow Nation to donate wheelbarrows to me. No problem. But I'll promise you this, when we go downstairs, Dennis and I will be laughing.
Yeah.
Because we are friends. Let not people divide us by class, by tribe, or by politics.
Okay.
It is a hoax.
Okay.
Do not get angry about people who love each other at night.
Interesting. Dismas Moko, your final take.
I don't want to talk about duvets and wheelbarrows, because I may invite the wrath of both Mark and Itumbi. But I'm looking at 2022. And this is because, as we speak, Kenya has got a leadership crisis. Now, Wanjiro, or even my cousins who've called from Kisii, have got a very unique opportunity to elect a leader who will take Kenya to the next level. In my view, Kenya right now is latent. We need a leader who is going to inject some energy so that we become kinetic. And when we become kinetic, everybody is going to be a very happy person. And in as much as we say that Ruto has faced a serious leadership crisis, some things they've done deserve a commendation. For instance, talk about what the president launched yesterday, the shipyard.
Yeah.
That is something that we can convert and become a powerhouse in the region.
All right.
So we've got the building blocks to go to the next level. So that next year now, when we look at be it Raila Odinga, Musalia Mudavadi, Jimmy Wanjigi, Ruto, let's look at the leader who has capacity to look at our national and public interests and harmonize human resources as well as financial resources, so that we don't get to be compared with our neighbors. You know, it's very irritating when Kenya gets compared to Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. We should be compared with South Korea, Singapore, US, and Britain.
Interesting. Okay, Dismas Mukua, thanks for your final take. Political risk analyst, Mark Bichachi, communication strategist. On the other side of the studio, Kenneth Chesa, wakili, lawyer and political analyst as well. And Dennis Nthumbi, we appreciate your input as well, political analyst. Gentlemen, I think that's a good way to end the year on this particular note. It's the last show of the year, so let's meet next year, 2022. I'm pretty sure it'll have better tidings for us and a lot to talk about since a politically heated year. My name is Jesse Rogers. Always appreciate your input right here. And thanks for watching. Keep it KTN News. Up next weekend at 1, Dennis Aseto is coming through. Bye-bye for now.